Hey, welcome back. Did any of you Vin Dacquino fans out there notice that the show began today with no music? Well, guess what? There is music. Today, we have a guest who is Mr. Music. This guy has been with more stars than the moon. My name's Vin Dacquino. His name is Ron Blanco. Hit it.
Well, hello, Vinny. It's a one-on-one show. Oh, yeah. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the one-on-one with Vinny Dacquino. I'm telling you, I made a mistake right there. Yeah, yeah.
Ronnie B! My man, so good to have you back.
Oh, thank you so much there, Vincent.
You have more rhythm than, I don't know.
It just happens that way.
Yeah, it does.
I don't know.
And you have a history in
Oh.
music like, oh my goodness. So today, you kept your promise.
Yes.
Long time ago, you were on the show.
Mm-hmm.
I said, you're coming back, buddy. And you are back. And I told you to bring pictures, and you did.
Yes.
So today, we're going to see some of those stars you actually were involved with. We're going to see some of the old Ron Blanco history that I've been waiting to see more of. So talk to me, Ron. Who are you? What do you do? When did this all start?
Really started. All my buddies and my pals from the Bronx.
The Bronx!
Yes.
Oh, so you're the other Bronx story?
East Bronx.
Oh, the
yes,
East Bronx
other
story.
Yeah, the East. The other side. Yeah, well, that was the lower Bronx. Well, I don't know.
So you went to a normal kind of high school.
Vanderchild High School. Yep, in the early '60s, and we were the school band. Not only were we a school band, we wound up working in a club called the Riviera Lounge, which was in Yonkers, and we used to back up every major act at the time.
And you
The
were a
Ronettes.
wet behind the ears teenager, right?
I was the bass player in the band.
Wow.
A place called the
There it is, the
Riviera
Riviera
Lounge,
Lounge.
the Go-Go Lounge, which Smokey Robinson wrote a song about when it was two different places. So on the way to Go-Go, he wrote Going to a Go-Go.
Wow.
Yeah, so we were the house band for so many years, backed them all up. We just
So-
went in the back room, read the charts. There was Little Anthony. There was the Drifters.
Wow.
All of them.
So some big names. And you were a kid. Now who's this?
That's the Mascots. The name of the band was the Mascots. The Dennis in the middle, Johnny Finelli right behind me. I'm over there to the left.
Oh man, that's you. Look,
There's
ooh, there's
Tommy
hair on your head.
Almusio and Al Albanese all the way on the right. His father was Ray Allen. He wrote Peppino, Italian Mouse, and Dominic Dick Donkey.
Oh.
We thought we had an in. Maybe we could have gotten a record deal. We got a record deal, but coulda, woulda, shoulda story.
Yeah, I hear you. So so you were as a teenager already in the middle of this. You're a
Yeah.
bass player.
Uh-huh.
And
Well, from the Riviera Lounge, the group broke up, and I wound up for some reason working at the Copacabana.
wow,
And that's
the
on Sixth-
Copacabana.
The original one, Sixth. So it was in the lounge with Jack Fontaine. He was a great comic. And here we are, and James Brown was appearing.
Wow.
Well, this is the Riviera Lounge. That's Ruby and Romantics. I'm over there,
Oh,
the
where are you?
second to the left over there. Our day will come, and we'll have everything.
Oh man, yeah.
That was the
big-
Riviera
they
Lounge.
were big. They were
Yeah.
big in their time.
Yes, yes.
So you played with them.
Yeah.
Now, so how did you get involved in that? Did they just say we need a bass player, or
Well, one year
you were the house band?
we
that's
were
right.
the house band, so every week there would be another act at that time. When the band broke up, I moved on and went on to the Copacabana, and then I played with a group called Joey and the Sportsmen, and Johnny Maestro came in in the club, and this was
the Copa, right?
no, not at the Copa. No, it was at the Joey and the Sportsman Lounge. So Johnny asked me to join him, and I joined him. It was a 6-part harmony group, and I was really, really good. And then we had our own group, and we were managed by Sid Bernstein, who managed the Young Rascals.
Wow. So the manager of the Young Rascals actually managed you guys?
Yes, he did. And he was responsible for bringing the Beatles into the States. He was Carnegie Hall. And so Sid used to do a lot of good things in the sense of like big-time promotion. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. We were signed to Decca Records. What are you going to do?
Yeah. Now you you didn't have to do a lot of traveling because you were basically playing in New York City, right?
That's correct.
And you lived in New York City. At that time, were you still living at home?
No. When I was 19, I was out. I was on 24th and Park, then moved up to, got married, lived on 47th and 8th. Oh yeah, that's the Copacabana. That was my old squeeze. Renzo, yeah.
Now where are you? You in there?
Yeah, I'm in there. I'm to the guy with the hair. See the guy?
On the right?
On the right side, yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's the way they set the tables up at the Copacabana.
Wow,
yeah.
that's cool.
So that was.
So you were at the Copacabana for a while.
I met James.
Copacabana.
Met James Brown, shook his hand. You got to say Mr. Brown, say hello to James Brown. But the history goes that from there, I went on to play at a Broadway show.
Oh,
so
really?
I was more of I was professional enough to play.
So you were like in the orchestra pit? Or were you actually?
On the stage.
On the stage?
Because it was a live performance, and we played a lot of places like the Garden type venues. 9 months on the road just doing that.
Wow.
One night after another. So it was a big challenge to do that with a 100-piece orchestra, and I'm the only bass player.
100-piece orchestra, and you were the bass player?
And I was the only bass player.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's different. So is that tiring to do the same thing night after night?
Well, you're in a different place all the time. All of a sudden, you're staying at the same hotel Elvis Presley stayed at. So it wasn't tiring. I got to see the King. And, it was...
so at this time, you were like in your early 20s?
That's correct.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you're doing this traveling show. So after the traveling show...
All the way from New York, zigzagged up and down the country, went up to Anchorage, Alaska, went to Hawaii, California.
Now, what were you doing there?
That's the traveling.
Show.
That was that tour.
Oh, my God.
Tour of a lifetime.
So you were on the road.
I was on the road. And then when I came off the road, I formed a one-man band because I saw a guy in a nightclub with a drum machine, and I said, I want to sing more, and I want to hook myself up as a one-man band. And by doing that, I would go on Sunday nights, and when I was off, and I would go to a comedy club called the Catch a Rising Star. And who did I befriend? Larry David.
Wow, Larry David?
Yeah, I wish I had the picture with him. But here he was. Look at him today. He just loses your enthusiasm all over again.
Yeah.
Brilliant
thanks to Bernie Sanders. He's the Bernie Sanders lookalike.
That's it.
Yeah. So you now. This was a one-man band thing.
One-man band,
now,
yes. And then I met
these were in lounges?
I was doing lounges and doing private parties and clubs in Jersey, rich houses and everything. And then I met my second wife, and we sang, but I came from a family of entertainers. So we wound up doing the Jewish Alps. So that's where I got to meet Jackie Mason, Alan
The Jewish
Crane.
Alps were, that's not Monticello. No, that's...
No, yeah, part of Monticello, yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Sure, on Route 117.
Yeah,
so you would do you would do why can't I even think of
Yeah, I can't think of the name of the...
Oh my God.
There were some big clubs there. Yeah,
Neville.
Yeah, that's right.
Browns.
And a lot of the big boys played there.
Well, sure. Well, we got to meet Danny Thomas. Every time I mention his name, I just say.
Yeah, because you kind of got to know him pretty well, right?
Got to know him and everything. In his dressing room, he had the picture of St. Jude. He had the candles glowing.
Wow, even back then.
Yeah, right there. Matter of fact, he is in Memphis, and that's where St. Jude is located, and they got his mausoleum there.
Wow.
So, but we used to go out to eat, and after the show, regular guy, and he talked about Sinatra, and he would call Sinatra Cheech. That's an
Cheech.
Italian
Yeah,
for Frank.
Frankie, you know. In Italian, a lot of the Italians call Frank Cheech.
So later in the years, that's I became the one-man band, and I continued, and then I became a DJ.
Now, talk to me a second about the one-man band. What is it? It's like some kind of a rhythm.
It's a guitar, rhythm section, a little drum machine, and play bass lines on it, and it sounded full.
And you sang too?
I sang. I did a couple of shows for Billboard magazine.
Oh, wow.
And I was just fortunate. I just had a good voice and sang, and I did a lot of prestigious parties. I didn't know why, but I guess I was unique at that time. And
yeah. So you did this one-man band, and then where did we go from there?
for the one-man band, I said, well, we got to do a DJ thing. So I started doing DJ work, spinning records, the real vinyl.
And now we're talking back in what, like the 50s? Where are we?
No, we're in the 70s.
70s.
The late 70s, approaching the 80s. Yeah. And went to a couple of clubs. I got to meet Keely Smith.
Oh,
And
wow.
and because being a record collector, I found this one record. I don't know, a lot of people don't know, but Keely Smith used to go out with Frank Sinatra. So I went up to her and I said,
Oh, really?
I said to her, wow. So I see this one song, we have nothing in common. How come the record company didn't release this record? She goes, well, the company didn't think it was good for our career.
Some secrets shouldn't be told, yeah?
Yeah, well, whatever, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
So I got to meet a lot of celebrities. I played tennis with Steve Martin, a regular guy.
Oh, really?
Tell me how he started his career, blowing up balloons in Disneyland, and that's how he started. I got to meet Professor Erwin Curry, who he just passed. What a wonderful man.
Wow.
And he was 97 at the time, 97 years old. I went up to him, I said, how did you live so long? I mean, you look great. He says, if I'd known I lived this long, I would have taken better care of myself. Funny man, funny man, funny man.
So you spent some time with him, and you did that. You did some shows there, and then where did we go?
Well, right now we're up here in Mayor Park, and we're enjoying being an entertainer. I sing. As a matter of fact, the other night I worked for the Vets, Montrose Vets, and I sang, did an hour show. If you do not use your God-given talent, it backs up on you.
Yeah, you need to do it. So a lot of those old days are still in your head. They still haunt you in some ways.
It was just part of that growing up process, I'm so glad that I held on to, you have to use your talent. There are a lot of people that just don't realize they have talent, but they do have talent, and they don't use it, and what happens is they get themselves sick. You have to use the cards that are handed out to you.
There.
You have to. Vin, look at you. You're a writer. You're emceeing a show. You have your own show. Look at this. You're using the God-given talent.
You have to be out there, and
You're a happy man.
Busy.
You're a happy
Yeah,
man. I'm a
I
happy
am.
man.
And it does have to do with staying busy. Now, I noticed, what is this Woodstock jacket you got?
Oh, yeah.
Woodstock. Don't tell me you played Woodstock.
No, in '94, I dressed up as Elvis Presley. So once again, that entertainer, that clown that I am. And I wound up being the Woodstock Elvis. I met Tom Arnold. I met so many celebrities dressed up as Elvis. And I went on a TV show, CNN, Channel 5, Channel 7. I had friends of mine say to me, "Oh, man, you're crazy. I see you all over the TV set." And then my quote was, Elvis, apparently Elvis is here. It rose from the dead, I said, well, if you build it, I will come. I have arrived. And that was my quote. Real fun.
And now you do a lot of DJ work, too. You
Yes.
do wakes, weddings, and parties of all sorts.
I don't want to do that. Yeah. At one time, there was a friend of mine that died, and I made a list of songs.
And you actually did play?
No, I didn't play
Oh,
it,
no?
but I gave it to the widow. I said, calling all angels, things of that nature. But it was a touching thing just that I said
But
that.
you do weddings, and you do
All the time.
taverns
Still,
and bars.
Sweet 16
You
still.
stay out there.
You know, music is like...
I know. You're still in your head, and you even do karaoke. You give people a chance to sing.
Yes.
And to
I
get
feel
out
like
there.
a record producer. I had a recording studio. I had a million-selling album. It was for McDonald's. And I had my apartment on 73rd and Broadway. The drummer would be up in the front of the room, and the singer would be in the bathroom. The guitar player would be in the bedroom, and the whole choir would be in the living room. We dispersed it. My partner at the time was Eric Thorngren, E.T. Thorngren, and he wound up doing the Talking Heads.
Wow.
You know, he did Robert Plant, Addicted to Love, and he does a lot of documents, and he stayed with him. He's like a first-class engineer. So he moved on with his career, big time.
Ron, when you look back, was there a favorite period, a favorite time?
The favorite time was recorded with the Rascals. They did a renovation where it was at Capitol Theater. Stevie Van Zandt produced the show, and wow, what a performance! From losing their time to gaining their time again, it was amazing. They've had 17 chart records, personal friends.
What was one of their big
I
ones?
played on How Can I Be Sure,
Yeah.
Good Lovin'.
Good loving. That was
you know,
big time.
Yeah, so they had a lot of hit records in the sense of that. Wonderful, wonderful guys. And matter of fact, I just recently saw Eddie and Dave. Dave played with Joey D and the Starlighters, and it's just a history of being with people that have made it in the business, traveled around the world. That's the wonderful
So that
thing.
was your highlight.
Yes.
Talk to me about your low light. Was there a time when you said, "What am I doing in this business? I should have gotten a factory job"? No?
I don't know. When you're a performer and you say you're doing that one-man band, and I'm living alone in the city, I'm saying, I've got all this and I've got nothing, you know.
Yeah.
Love.
There you
must
go. You
find
needed
the
love.
love.
And
You
you
must
found love
find
in a
love.
second wife. So
Yeah.
you got remarried.
Yeah.
You did your thing.
Yeah.
And the two of you kind of do some gigs together. I always get a kick out of watching the two.
Well, Camille's number 3.
Oh, Camille's number 3.
Yeah, oh, it was a
Oh, you didn't talk about the second and third.
Yeah, the second one was the one where, you know, I got married into an entertainment family. The first one was the one that wound up working at record plant where I used to see Jimi Hendrix all the time.
Wow.
Matter of fact, in those days, I walked into a club and Jimi Hendrix was jamming. He said, "Hey, is anybody in the audience that has a bass guitar?" And I went up and I jammed with him. So who's singing lead? Jim Morrison's singing lead.
Get outta
Mitch Mitchell's
here.
playing drums, and Jim
And you actually played with them?
played with them, jammed.
That was wow.
Yeah, well, it's like normal. It's like a normal thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So those are. So then you. So you got married a third time, and by that time, were you still in? Were you always in music? Did you ever do anything else, Ron?
I tried doing renovations with kitchens and bathrooms, and I said, "There's too much poison in this. I can't do this." It's really the poison being that the material that you use. You got to be careful.
What sign are you? Are you a Leo?
Oh, I just had my birthday, October 29th.
Oh, happy birthday!
Thank you.
Man.
I'm a Scorpio.
A Scorpio.
Yeah.
So do Scorpios like the lights too? I mean, you lived your life in front of an audience.
Well, you know, I went to a psychiatrist at one time, and I said, "Why am I an entertainer?" And they said it was parents, extension of your parents. What you didn't get from your parents, you get from your audience. And it made a lot of sense to me. I also read books about losing my, well, no, but I but, you know, it was parents, and I accepted that my audience is my, you know, I educate them, they educate me, you know, And together we bond and have a great time
I
together.
hear you. Why do you think I do this show?
There you go.
Yeah, I've told this story so many times. I'm going to tell it again. I was 12 years old. There was an essay contest. So it was the beginning of my writing as well as the beginning of my speaking. I was in, 7th, 8th grade, and there was a fire truck that they drove into the into the playground, and Sparky the dog was on the truck, and my essay won, so I had to read it to the entire school body.
Far out.
So I stood up there on the truck, and I had this dog next to me, and the dog was like head up, and I looked out to that audience, and I said, I like this.
Ah.
And I looked out there.
You got the
and
bug. You got the bug.
I delivered my speech
Yeah.
with the kind of passion that I like to believe that I have today.
Oh.
And that passion caught fire. And I said, I want to do this. By the time I got to high school, there was a variety show. I did stand-up comedy. I was 16 years old, in front of 500 people in this audience, doing stand-up comedy. And I remember the teacher saying to me, aren't you afraid to go out there? I said, I'm afraid not to go out there.
Really?
I loved it.
I didn't know you did stand-up.
Yeah,
How do
I
you
did
like
stand
that?
up there. I also did it in a couple clubs later on in my life.
I got one joke for you.
Uh-oh.
I got one joke for you. Ask me the reason for my success. Ask me.
Jokes? Oh, what's the reason for your
Timing!
success? Ah! Your timing was off. I know. Yeah, there's something about being in front of an audience. And I hear what you're saying. I feed off my audience. And however,
But
I
I
can imagine-
also have camaraderie with other people. I'm usually a quiet guy. But
Oh,
when I
yeah,
talk
right.
to people who are in the business, you can't shut me up. I have a good friend of mine, Ricky Shutter, who was the original drummer for Godspell. And here Paul Schaefer was at his house. The writer of the show was rehearsing this, Steven Schwartz. And he had another guy. And here they rehearsed, and then he became the movie and a show, big time.
Yeah.
But look where it started, in his house, they're rehearsing
Yeah.
the charts.
You never really know. There's really no set way for success. I mean, people talk about, oh, well, I was a waiter, and then I was discovered waiting on tables. Another one was a custodian. Another one was the camera person, and you just don't know where.
Well, you could try, you try, you say, this is the road I have to take. So you record the song. This is the road, this is the place I got to go. So you go and on a TV show. This is the place I got to succeed. I'm with a hit group, maybe an offshoot of this also. But, it's in the cards. You
So-
got to be big time lucky.
Yep.
And by the way, I'm talking about, like, sometimes you reach and go for that apple, it's hard. And it's too trying. We just lost Tom Petty. He tried too hard.
Yeah.
The wife goes to him, you got to go to the doctor. He goes, no, he's being a bullhead. All you have to do is make one mistake.
Yep.
He goes and gets a heart attack.
Yeah.
66 years old, dead.
And
Look
you
at
never
David
know.
Bowie. Another one. We lose another one. He tried too hard. He knew they got everything.
Yeah.
And yet they got to smoke a cigarette and this and that and whatever. I'm not putting down people who smoke cigarettes, but you got to know that it's dangerous stuff.
Yeah.
And especially if you're recording, I got another this, I
And
got to
you
get
never know-
creative.
You never know when
Control
the day
your
ends.
creativity
Yep.
for your health. I can't see these guys
We've
keep
lost
on
so
dying.
many good young musicians.
Big time.
Yeah, big time.
You got to watch the trap. Got to watch
Yeah,
the trap.
Yeah, I remember. I was friends with Roy Campanella for a long time.
Oh man, I
And,
just saw a show.
Someone who I've always admired as an idol
Yeah.
and as a friend.
Yes.
And I remember one time he was with a rookie ball player, and the rookie ball player said, "Campy, what do I have to watch out for?" He said, "Remember this. go get yourself an education. Go get yourself a career. Because this career doesn't last forever. Once you've been to the top of the mountain, you have to come back again sometime. And you need to be prepared. And
I mean, that's a good speech and all that stuff about a good education.
Yep.
When my dad asked me, he said, Ron, what do you want to do? Do you want to pursue your career or go to college? And me being a kid, I said, well, I want to pursue my career. I want to be a musician.
yeah,
I
don't want to go to school.
Wrong.
Yeah.
No, you go to school first.
That's what Roy says too.
It gets me so mad when people tell me, $100 words, and I say, what does that mean? Or, I needed an education. Now I've got an education of hard knocks, but, I'm happy. I'm smart enough.
Your advice to the kids out there who are bubbling over with passion, who want to be musicians, what are you saying to them, Ron?
I'm saying as far as the tuition goes, watch out what you sign, what school to go. Be frugal about, having bills and all that. And as far as the education, just make sure you're going after what you want. There's nothing worse than going after an education and not being able to find a job.
So you're saying try to root your dreams in reality too?
Oh, yeah. Well, that's part of meditating. You got to really focus on what you really want to do and how to utilize your talent.
And to be careful, because sometimes you shoot for your dream and you're shooting at a place where you aren't going to be.
Sometimes what happens is it's so obvious,
Ron,
and
we're down to the last minute.
Man.
Take us into the credits with that mean guitar.
We're going to leave this show right now.
Yeah, baby.
It's the one-on-one with Vin Dacquino.
Mr. Ronnie Blanco, the man of music.
Oh, yeah. We got it going